We're now joined by Coach Will Wade. Coach, your opening comments.
Well, happy to be here. We've got a big challenge ahead of us tomorrow with Oklahoma. We had a crash course in learning about them last night and this morning, and they're certainly a terrific team with maybe the best player in the country, so we'll have our work cut out for us, but we're excited, very, very excited about the opportunity and look forward to playing tomorrow night.
Okay, we'll take our first question on the right.
Yeah, Cliff Brunn, Associated Press. Given everything you guys have accomplished over the years, I understand that you're a lower seed, but do you guys play that underdog role, that underdog card at all anymore? Or are you guys just like, hey, it's just another game in terms of the level that you guys are at?
Well, we're an accomplished program. We're one of 8 programs in the country that's been to 6 straight NCAA tournaments. We've won 24 more games, 10 straight years. Us and Kansas are the only 2 programs in the country that have done that. So, this is what we expect to do. And you're going to get thrown into these situations when you're in the NCAA tournament where you play great teams. And we consider ourselves a very good team, but not only that, a great program. And so we'll show up and play. This is when we've done good work in the past, and we need to show up and put our best foot forward and do great work tomorrow afternoon.
On the aisle.
Jerry Ahern, USA Today Sports. Will, you're one of the youngest coaches to win an NCAA tournament game. Does that help you relate to players, and do you ever get mistaken for being someone other than the head coach?
Yeah, the bus driver for Village, our bus driver here, thought I was one of the players when I got on the bus. I said, no, sir, I'm the head coach. He said, oh, really? He said, you're making the decisions here? But I said, yeah. I am. But he liked it when I paid for dinner. I had the credit card to pay for dinner. He liked that. But I think it helps. I'm a little bit more aware of what they're going through or what's going on, and have a pretty good pulse of what goes on with the team. I spend a lot of time with them. We go out to dinner a lot with certain guys and certain groups of guys. So it's important to me to spend time with the guys, try to reach their hearts, try to get inside of them, help them out as best we can moving forward, because it's a crazy world, and we've got our guys have a lot of stress on them, and sometimes we think, why is he not playing well? Why is he not doing this well? Well, there's a lot of other stuff going on, and it's my job to figure those things out and to help those guys. And so I enjoy that part of the job. That's why I got into this. As secondary education major, I was going to be a high school history teacher, and then I just kind of moved up, in college basketball. So at heart, I'm a teacher. My mom was a principal for 30 years, and so I enjoy helping our guys move forward academically, helping them move forward off the court. And I do think my age helps with that. They'll tell me some things maybe that they wouldn't tell other folks, and then you've got to keep that confidentiality and help them move forward through those situations.
Got a question on the outside, and then we'll move to the inside.
Yeah, Will, Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. You talk about you got a program that's accomplished and has done a lot and ranks with virtually anyone, but it wasn't always that way. You guys went to the Final Four as, the longest of long shots. Is there a difference in the way you guys play in the NCAA tournament now compared to then in terms of your mindset, in terms of, pressure or carefree or whatever the case may be?
Well, I do think what you're getting at is or at least I think what you're getting at is I agree with it in principle. I think we do have an accomplished program, but I do think we let our hair down and just play a little bit. We play loose. We play like we're an underdog, although we don't necessarily see ourselves as the underdog all the time. We've got, I'm not trying to compare. But we just opened a $25 million practice facility. This is as nice as any practice facility if anybody's got in the country. It's hard to be an underdog when you've got, when you've got the sort of facilities and infrastructure that we have. But on this stage, I think most people view us as an underdog, and we'll play that role, and we'll let our hair down, play as hard as we can, and see what happens. But we don't view ourselves like that. We view ourselves as one of the top 20, 25 programs in the entire country. And I think our winning and our record over a longer period of time has substantiated that. I think the Final Four maybe drew more attention to all that. But we had great teams in the 80s. We've been to 8 out of the last 10 NCAA tournaments, and so we've been very successful. But when we get here, yeah, we just let our hair down and go play. We're not in a Power 5 conference. We don't have the name recognition of an Oklahoma or some of those folks, and we don't necessarily have star players. We haven't had a lot of star players over our runs. We've got gritty, blue collar, hardworking people. That's what our university is. That's what our team is. That's what our fan base is. That's who we are. And so I think that combination of people and really not having stars, we don't have a Buddy Hield, we don't have those type guys, but we've got a good team. We've got a really good program, and we've got good infrastructure and a great family at VCU. And I think, we play for those folks, and when we get to the NCAA tournament, we just play as hard as we can and see what happens. And we've had some success doing that.
Got a question in the middle, and then we'll move towards the rear.
Hi, Coach. Janine Edwards, ESPN. Yesterday, your smaller lineup, your quickness, your athleticism, you used to your advantage very nicely. Is that something that you think you can use again against Oklahoma? Or how impactful do you see that being against a team like Oklahoma?
Yeah, well, one of our strengths is we can play a lot of different ways. So we can play, we're a little bit different in that a team from our league, usually we can play two bigs. We can play Ali Cox with Hamdi. The kid Ahmed Hamdi. We can go 6'8", 6'10" on the front line. We can play the kid Tillman and play really big, or we can play really small with Burgess, and then we start the kid Bilberry at the 4, who's 6'4". So we've got some versatility. So what we like to do is, like yesterday, for example, we went into the game thinking when they went small, we were going to go big because we wanted to pound the glass and try to pound them inside. Well, they started running some action where we couldn't stay big because they were just picking on us and driving some of our bigs with what they were running. And so then we countered and went back small. So when you've got a lot of different ways you can play, then we settled in and said, all right, we're just going to play small and try to beat them small, which we were able to do. So we'll see. It depends on how the game goes, and we'll try big, we'll try small, see what's the best fit for us, and play that way. But I do think the versatility of our roster and the interchangeable parts we have in our roster helps us feel our way through things.
Question on the left rear.
Andy Staples from Sports Illustrated. Well, you and Steve Prohm and Matt McCall all came up through the student manager track. How does that accelerate your learning of the business? And also, did you dominate any manager games?
When our managers are like top 5 in the country in the KPI deal. They posted all over I told them if we give them to work as hard at that as they did in playing, they stay after practice and practice themselves. But we didn't have the manager games when I was coming up. We just tried to trade gear, get game shorts. I had game shorts from like all the ACC schools when I was at Clemson. But, I think being a manager gives you a different perspective on things. You get to see how things work in the office. You get to see, just the totally different aspects of the recruiting part and the overall picture as opposed to just playing all the time. So I do think it has some advantages. I was able to learn a lot. My kind of niche was camp. I knew how to run camps. And so Coach Purnell, when he needed a graduate assistant, he felt like he was going to start losing money on his camp. So he just kept me on his graduate assistant to basically run camps. And then I was able to parlay that into learning more about things. So I think managers are responsible people. They're for the most part, they can do a lot of everything, and I think that's what you have to do as a head coach. You got to be able to juggle a lot of balls and keep a lot of balls in the air and play a lot of different roles and wear a lot of different hats. And I think being a manager prepares you for that.
Question in the middle left.
Garen Emig of the Tulsa World. Will, I think the assumption is because you served under Shaka that Oklahoma will see sort of Shaka's defensive intensity from the jump. I mean, you'll be in OU's backcourt and pressure for 2 hours. Is it that much of a mirror image, or have you? No. Yeah, go ahead.
No, we've adjusted. We press probably 30-40% of the game, but we play what gives us the best chance to win. Our fans call it half-court havoc now. I mean, we're just much more in the half court. We use our length and athleticism in the half court more to create steals, to create turnovers. But we only now Oregon State's was the best in terms of lowest turnover percentage in the Pac-12. They did a great job handling the ball. We only turned them over 6 times yesterday, so it's not like we created a ton of turnovers. But we don't press a ton. We'll press some. Usually it's 3/4 court press or token pressure. So no, we really try to guard in the half court, be vigilant in the half court, rebound the ball, and not open ourselves up to as many layups and runouts and some of those situations you can get in when you full court press. I would like to press and play like that all the time, but we lost Briante Weber. We lost some really good players, and any press looks good when you have Briante out top. He's showing that in the NBA right now with the Grizz. So it there's some similarities to it with how we play in the half court and how we deny and how we go about it, but it won't be 40 minutes of full court pressure tomorrow.
Got a question on the outside right.
Yeah, Coach, aside from the obvious, which is Buddy Hield, what makes Oklahoma tough to guard?
Well, they've got other good players. It's not like it's a one-man band. I know he gets a lot of the attention as he should, averaging 25 a game, but the other 2 guards are really good. The big kid, 12, he blocks a ton of shots, which leads to transition opportunities for some of those other guys. They've got some bigs, Buford and Zero Spangler, who can make shots when they need them to. They're good enough from 3 where you got to go out there and cover them a little bit. So, they've just got a versatile, interchangeable roster. And I think one thing that's underrated, their defense doesn't get talked about a lot. They do a good job defensively. They're top 25 in the country, adjusted defensive stuff, advanced metrics with their defense. And their offense is top 15. So that's what people score 1.115 a possession. But that's what people get caught up in. But their defense is good, and they are simple. They do what they do. They're very good with what they do, and so I would say their defense and their other parts are a lot better than people give them credit for.
Question on the aisle, and then we'll move to the right.
Myron Patton, Fox 25. How do you think you guys will handle basically playing a road game, and what do you want to take away from Oklahoma first?
What do I want to take away?
What do you want to take away from Oklahoma first?
Okay, yeah. Well, first off, we need to guard the three-point line very well. I felt like yesterday sitting in the arena, Oklahoma gets a lot of confidence, almost like the fans are disappointed when they hit a 2. I feel like they get a lot of they hit 10.5 threes a game. They shoot at 42% as a team. That's phenomenal. But I feel like we're top 30 in the country in three-point defense, so it'll get tested to the max tomorrow. So we need to really, really guard the three-point line. If they barrage us with threes, it'll be, the roof will come off the place. And in terms of playing a road game, that same bus driver I was telling you about, we landed. I asked him. I was a geography major, obviously not a very good one, but I thought OU was like 45 minutes from here, an hour from here. I said, oh yeah, OU's here. He said, yeah, it's 18 miles down the road. I said, oh goodness. It was when we landed the first day. Then I saw Oklahoma run out yesterday, and it was like it was a sea of red. So, we just need to keep the game manageable. I thought against Bakersfield, they barraged them with 2 quick runs, one in the first half, one in the second half, that really gave them the lead that they needed to. So we just need to keep it manageable, not let them bury back-to-back threes or consecutive threes, and be good with our offense where we can slow it down a little bit and keep it within manageable working margins for most of the game, and then get it down to the end of the game and see what happens. But we've been a good road team this year. Our road record in our league was very good. We've been a good road team, and we'll need to draw on that experience and draw on some of those experiences. But it'll definitely be a big challenge for us. There's a lot of enthusiasm for Oklahoma basketball right now, as there should be, and we'll need to play well and weather 3 or 4 storms with the crowd and with their team.
Question on the outside right, and then we'll come over to the left.
Yeah, Will, in Oklahoma, weakness was exposed yesterday. They don't do a good job of containing the Egyptian big men. Usually that's not a problem for a team.
Yeah, they got back-to-back Egyptian bigs now.
Can you talk a little bit about Ahmed and his Egyptian background and how he helped you? It looked like he had some moves yesterday.
Yeah, it's astute observation. No, Hamdi is He's been great. When we got the job, we lost some players, and we were scrambling. We were scrambling like eggs, trying to find some guys. And we found him in a junior college down in Texas, and he's been very, very good for us. He's from Alexandria, Egypt. He came over, lived with the host family in Houston, went to the University of Houston, and when Coach Dickey got let go at Houston, then he went to junior college, and we were able to sign him out of junior college. But he's had some big games for us against a league team. George Mason, he scored 16 points. He played really well against Duke in Madison Square Garden when we played them earlier this year. He played well against Wisconsin in the Garden when we played them. So anything we get from him is a bonus. He did a nice job yesterday. He doesn't like to pass it, so when he gets it, it's going up. It's going up one way or the other. It's going up. So I think him and maybe 42 from Bakersfield have that in common. No, he's been great for us. We're excited to have him, and I think as we move forward, I think he's going to be a really good player for us. He's got another year or two with us, and I think he can be a good player for us.
Question on the outside left.
Kyle Fredrickson with the Oklahoman. Coach, you mentioned earlier the importance of getting to know these guys as players and really getting in depth with them in that way. When you first got brought on, how were you able to earn their trust? What were the things that you felt like you had to do as a first-year guy to get on that level with them?
Well, I knew most of them from being an assistant. So Melvin and Mo, and Mo set out a year, and Jordan Burgess set out a year. So I knew most of them. I recruited Jaquan. I recruited a lot of the juniors. The freshmen that are here now, I recruited all of them because we signed them all in the spring. And so really it was the junior class who I didn't really know. And Johnny Williams, he was already committed to us when I was an assistant. He's from Richmond. He had been committed for 2 years, so I had developed a good relationship with him. The only guys on our team I didn't know were Mike Gilmore and Justin Tillman. And then I was really close with a lot of the seniors who were leaving, and Melvin and I were really close. I stayed in touch with Melvin even when I was gone. We stayed in touch for a long time. So those guys I didn't really have to do much. They just kind of spread the word. Hey, this is what you're getting. This is what he is. He's going to tell it to you like it is. It's going to be, it's going to be hard. It's going to be disciplined. It's going to be this. It's going to be that. And I'm glad those guys stuck around. And, it was pretty quick. I like familiarity. So I knew a lot of the folks. I knew a lot of the players. I knew a lot of the administration. It just made it pretty seamless coming back.
Final question for the coach on the outside left.
Yeah, Will, have you talked to Shaka since his game ended last night?
I know him better than that. No. We talked before the game, and I'll touch base with him at some point this week. But no, no, I haven't. I've talked to one of their assistants, but that's about as close as I'll get to touching that at this point. But it's some way to lose. We came out. We were watching film and came out in the hotel lobby to watch the end of that game and watch St. Joe's from our league, who got a huge win over Cincinnati. Very happy for Coach Martelli and the Hawks. But that was something else. So we'll touch base and talk, on down the line here a week or so. But I feel for him. It's tough. It's tough.
Okay, Coach, thank you very much for your comments, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.